sure let them know the dogs are part of the scenario.
For my speech today, I would like to talk about a recent event that has happened in my life. Last Tuesday, my daughter came home from her second day of volleyball practice with a broken nose. It wasn't bleeding and she wasn't screaming. Her nose was definitely crooked, but she didn't appear to be in much pain. After staring at her for a while, I decided it was better to be safe than sorry. So off to Cedar Rapids we went to the emergency room at St. Luke's. Once there, we waited about 10 minutes before seeing a nurse in triage. After that, we waited another 10 minutes to be taken to a room. Once there, a nurse came in and took her vitals and information, and then there was another wait before the doctor came in. Within about 2 minutes, the doctor said, "Yes, it's broke, and I'll refer you to a specialist." There was a spot under her eye that appeared to be hurting as well, so we were sent to x-ray for a CT scan to make sure that wasn't broke either. We were then taken back to our room to wait on the scan. I think we waited about an hour and a half before hearing the results. Turns out she had just had a broken nose. We were then sent home with some pain pills and told to return to the specialist the following Monday. My daughter Dakota just had to ice it in the meantime to ensure the swelling would go down. The next day, Dakota did go to school but came home early. She was having trouble reading at school and was just in pain. The next few days went relatively well and the pain soon eased up, and by the time Monday rolled around for her appointment with the specialist, she assured me she was fine and it didn't hurt anymore. The specialist only needed a quick peek at her nose to tell her she would be scheduling her for surgery the following day, and that Dakota would most likely be out of sports for the next 6 weeks, which meant no volleyball. Being the typical 14-year-old she is, this meant that it was my fault because the surgery was optional. However, knowing that she wasn't breathing like she was supposed to be, and also knowing that waiting any longer to straighten her nose would mean a more invasive surgery, I wanted it to be done right away. The next day, we arrived at her pediatrician's office at 11 a.m. for a pre-surgery physical. Dakota is not a child who gets sick often. It is rare I ever have to take her to the doctor. So being the mean mom I am, I took advantage of having her there to get her shots updated. 1 shot in each arm equaled one more thing for her to be mad at me for. Oh well. We hung around until 4 o'clock when we had to be at the hospital to check in. The surgery wasn't scheduled to start until 5:30, but there was a lot of prep work to be done. The first nurse who took us back had her change into a gown, and then she took all of her vitals. The second nurse who came in explained everything that would be happening during surgery. Then the anesthesiologist came in and explained how her pain meds would be administered through her IV and how it felt to be put under. Then the surgeon's nurse came in and just talked briefly about what would be happening. The surgeon then came in and briefed us one more time and explained to Dakota how it would feel to be put under, what exactly she would be doing, and how it would feel to wake up in recovery. I left the room and went out to the waiting room. Within half an hour, the surgery was completed, and within another half an hour, I was allowed back to see her. By that time, she was fully awake. Her nose was definitely swollen. The doctor had told me after surgery that she did have to re-break it to fix it again, and that there would be quite a bit of pain. Dakota had said when she woke up that she was screaming and crying and hyperventilating. She did calm down, but her nose was still bleeding. Today is now Friday, 3 days after surgery. Wednesday, Dakota didn't go to school, but made it all day yesterday. As I sit here writing this, she is home from school laying on the couch. Her follow-up appointment is next Tuesday, and I'm hopeful the cast will come off of her face. She's not allowed to make any facial movements. She can't get her face wet, which means I have to wash her hair for her, and she's on antibiotics for a few days. I'm pretty sure as soon as the cast comes off, she'll be getting a mask and she'll be back to playing volleyball. The red button. Hit the red button.